Could you talk a little bit about what makes First Harvest green fruit olive oil so unique and special, the benefits?
Well, there are a lot of things that are unique about it. And of course, one of the things that makes anything unique and valuable is that it's more rare. And the reason it's rare is because not very many people do this. It's sort of a new thing.
Yeah.
And it essentially means that you have to start the season a little bit earlier than normal. Mm-hmm. And from a producer standpoint, they get less oil because the fruit is not quite as ripe, it's not quite as soft. And so when they crush and extract the oil from the fruit, not as much oil comes out.
Lower yield.
Just because it's physically kind of caught within the cell walls, within the pulp of the fruit. So the producer would say, well, I don't want to start that early because I'm not going to make as much money because I'm not going to get as much oil. But we found out over the last few years that in almost all cases, the premium oils that are winning awards at competitions are those early harvest oils. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that's nice about early harvest oils that makes them a little bit higher in quality is that it gives them less opportunity on the tree to be affected by other things. So be affected by hail or rain or disease or insect infestation, any of those kinds of things. So we're almost always starting off with fruit that's better quality. Mm-hmm. Also, during the harvest process, when you harvest those greener olives, they have a higher antioxidant content. So any damage that you would see at all in the harvest process would be absorbed by those antioxidants. And so you don't see it reflected so much in the final product, whereas a riper fruit has less of those antioxidants and tends to ferment and change very, very quickly compared to an oil that's harvested or olives that are harvested a little bit greener.
Yeah.
The other thing that from the tasting standpoint is that when you have green olives or greener olives, they have a higher bitterness and higher pungency, a higher polyphenol content. As the fruit goes from green to yellow to kind of a purple violet color, those polyphenols and various nice compounds in there, the antioxidant compounds that relate to bitterness and pungency and the health aspects of olive oil, they diminish. And they can diminish actually quite rapidly. In a period of about 30 days, they can go from very, very high polyphenol contents in 600, 700, 800 level down to 30, 40, 50, almost nothing in a period of about a month. So catching them in that period where you're going to get some really nice, interesting flavors from the olives, but also have those high polyphenol contents really comes from that early harvest fruit.
That's beautiful. And you get it's the free fatty acid component that allows us to get that oil if you want to at very high temperatures in terms of food prep. So
there's two aspects to that. One is because of the antioxidant content, high antioxidant content of the oil, because of the early harvest. And that it relates to when we taste it, that's directly correlated with bitterness and pungency. Those antioxidants in the cooking process protect the oil. So as you heat it up, you begin to get oxidation. And so the antioxidants prevent the oil from changing very much, which is not true of any other oil. I mean, it's only true about olive oil. And then the second thing is that when you have really well-made oils from sound early harvest fruit, and by well-made, I mean the equipment is very clean, the process runs very smoothly, the malaxation is a short period of time, 15 minutes to a half an hour. The oils are filtered immediately after they're produced, stored without oxygen, all those different kinds of things in that process. Yeah. You end up with oils that have a very low free fatty acid content. Some people call it acidity, but it's not really acidity, it's free fatty acid. Free fatty acids are fatty acids that are broken away because of detrimental effects on the fruit handling mostly and in the processing. So when you have very low free fatty acid content, those oils have a very high smoke point. And this is one of the reasons why people often got confused with, they said, well, you can't cook with extra virgin olive oils, because they would go buy an extra virgin olive oil from the grocery store and just a regular extra virgin olive oil. And unfortunately, it probably wasn't extra virgin olive oil, even though it was labeled that. And many of those oils have a high free fatty acid content and a much lower smoke point. So these specialty oils that we have selected, early harvest, made very, very carefully, have a very low free fatty acid content and therefore have a very high smoke point.